as possible. Pick up a welding torch at the equipment shed.
Hello, I'm DerTebbers, and this is your indie game review of Moonbase Alpha by none other than NASA. What is it like to have to perform emergency repairs on a moonbase? Do you have what it takes to quickly decide which modules to repair to save your fellow crew members? Can you save the crew of the damaged moonbase? This is Moonbase Alpha, a free game co-developed by NASA that seeks to answer just these kind of questions. Graphics are gray, but then again, the moon itself is that color, so there isn't much of a choice in terms of a color palette. There's a little bit of color on the astronaut suit itself. The devices and characters are well done. The movement appears to be similar to what you see in videos from the Apollo missions to the moon. Now, of course, a game being from NASA, you would expect at least that much to be right, and it is. The graphics don't disappoint, despite this being an older game. Performance is stellar. The game runs great. It's nearly 4 years old, so today's computers can run it extremely well. Even when cranked to maximum graphics, I've never had a hiccup in performance, even on older machines, and it just works. There is a little bit of potential leg spiking on the multiplayer, but that's just to be expected from any multiplayer game that doesn't have dedicated servers. Gameplay is slow, but also fast. It's slow because you don't move very fast in your big, bulky suit, and you can only carry a few things with you, meaning you're going back and forth to get things. Now, this does annoy me a bit since you can only carry a wrench or a welder. Unless you remember, you can just carry a toolbox which has 2 welders and a torch. Still, let me carry 2 small items. I can understand not being able to carry 2 robots because they're just big, bulky monsters. And if you actually look, your guy kind of has to put his arm out. So it's kind of, I would presume, difficult to carry 2 of the things. But still, if they're small items, let me carry 2 small items, please. Now, the game is also fast because you have 2 limits on your activity. The first limit is your own EVA levels. You have an oxygen level within your suit, and if you run out, well, we breathe oxygen to live, so you can imagine what would happen. But you're also limited by the amount of time the station has before everyone in the station dies from a lack of oxygen. Now, why they don't put on their suits is never answered, but presumably you could assume that this meteor impact damaged their ability to get to their suits. That would be my logical guess, or they just needed an ability to put a sense of urgency to the game. I'm going to go with the damage to the suit area. That seems more likely in my world. Now, the game never generates the same damage profile, and by damage profile I mean what's physically damaged. So you can never fully prepare for what you need to repair. I've had all kinds of things broken, and you actually can, as you add more players to a multiplayer, it actually generates more damage, so you can actually increase the amount of damage you have to deal with. So it does smartly increase that damage. This adds some nice replayability, and in addition, with that server setup in multiplayer, you can have some great co-op, or you can have a troll, and I have had those before. This allows you to team up with your friends, hook up on TeamSpeak, and really try to be the fastest person to repair Moonbase Alpha. Now, the minigame during welding does feel a bit tedious, but it also kind of makes sense to me. I feel like I'm welding, or soldering if you must, to fix the damaged item. It adds this feel of really being actively engaged in doing the repairs. I just don't like the artificial time limits that they give you to do this work. Just damage the board and let me weld the board back together. That would make it so much better, but still, once you get the flow of things, it's not such a bad minigame. The biggest thing going for this game is that it is free. Completely and totally free. You can offer hours of fun or just a few minutes of fun. It really depends on what you want to accomplish with the game. Do you want to just try it once? Or do you want to keep going, trying to get a better score? Do you want to hook up with all your buddies and see how quickly you can completely repair Moonbase Alpha from top to bottom? I've gotten in games with my friends, and we've managed within the 20-minute time limit that the base gave us to repair 100% everything that was knocked out. I think we did it in like 9 minutes and change because there were 6 of us in there, and we split up the work beautifully. Now by myself, it takes me 20 minutes or so to repair a simply damaged base to get it functional. So it's really, what do you want to get out of the game? Just a note on the leaderboard though, those people are epic. Good luck knocking those people off. They've been on there for quite a while. In fact, there was some understanding that NASA was actually looking at the leaderboard and doing something with some of the top people back when this game was first launched. So you never know. Maybe NASA's still paying attention. Who knows? If you've always wanted to be an astronaut, here's your chance for free. I've been DerTebbers. This was an indie game review of Moonbase Alpha from NASA. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to be going making a phone call, seeing if NASA needs me to fly to the moon for them.